Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. So in this video we will learn about the render phase. So actually we have learned in our previous video about the how rendering actually works, right? So rendering is nothing but which will display into the screen. So creating the React element tree and afterwards we will be displaying into the screen. So here in this phase React element tree it will have all the data that is related to how to create the DOM. So the concept, how it will be having the concept, how it will be rendering into the screen, how it will be painting into the screen, and how it will create the DOM elements and all those things. Let's try to see in this video. So learning about this concept and all those things doesn't have anything to work with the React.js. So if you don't know these concepts also, you can feel freely and you can work on the React.js also. But learning about this, what happens actually behind the scenes is very much important. So if you are having a curious mind or anything, so which you want to learn these all things means, so it will help you a lot more. So let's try to learn about this render phase. So here, let's see what we have learned about the mechanics of the state. So we in the previous video we have learned whenever a state is updated, so it will be re-rendered. A re-render will be triggered. So in the initial time, render will be triggered. Whenever when this state is updated, it will be rendered. Initial time it will be rendered, and the view will be updated according to that one. And here, so whenever in the view, so through the event listeners or anything, so if the state is updated, then update state will again re-render. So this will again update the view. So this is how the cycle will go on. So here in this render phase, we will be having so many steps will be involved. So that steps, all those things you will learn one by one. So here whenever the state updates, a render will be triggered, and in this render it will execute the component function and component instances will be created and React element tree will be created, and like that everything happens, and ultimately a DOM element tree DOM is constructed and it is painted on the screen. So this is how it will happen. So you need to understand that rendering will not update the screen or DOM. So this is one concept which we have discussed here. So the render thing which will happen, it will not update the DOM in the screen. And also React also does not completely discard the old view to re-render. So here whatever the view is there here, whenever a click event happened here, a state is updated, so it will go to the state, updated state has been filed, and it will render. And don't think that entire view will be discarded and again a new DOM will be reconstructed. Don't think like that. So these two are false. So how the React will handle these all the things, let's try to see. So now we will see how renders are actually performed in the render phase. At the beginning of the render phase, so when the rendering is happening, React will go through the entire component tree, take all the component instances that triggered a re-render and actually render them, which simply means calling the corresponding component functions. So whenever a render is happened, so React will go through the entire component tree and it will take the entire component instances and all those things. So it will just simply call the component functions. So this will create the updated React elements. So when these component instances and all those things are created, so you know the right, so React elements has been created, which altogether make up the so-called virtual DOM. So this React element tree is nothing but it is called as a virtual DOM only. And this word we have heard it so many times before, and let's learn about this, what this actually virtual DOM is. So in the initial render, so when the initial render is happening, React will take the entire component tree and transform it into a one big React element tree, which is basically called as an React element tree like this. So here this is our component tree which we will be having. So you are having at the top app, and you will be having navbar, body and a footer. So let's think it as a profile or anything, and in this body you are having a model and a tweet. Okay, component tree. And here this React element tree. So when these component instances and all those things are executed, so proportionately React element tree will be created. An app, navbar, body, footer, model, tweet like this. Virtual DOM is just a tree of all the React elements created from all the instances in the component tree. So this is the definition. Virtual DOM is just a tree of all the React elements created from the instances in the component tree. And it's relatively cheap and fast to create a tree like this, even if we need many iterations of it, because in the end it's just a JavaScript object. Now virtual DOM is probably the most hyped and most used term when people describe about what React is and how it works. But if we think about it, if the virtual DOM is just a simple object, it's actually not such a big deal, right? So it's a virtual DOM is just a big simple object. Official documentation does not mention the term virtual DOM anywhere right now. So in our new official documentation in the React, so the term virtual DOM is not being used anywhere, but everyone uses it because it sound nice that the term React elementary than the React elementary. So if I try to say React elementary means, then that virtual DOM word sounds better. So that is the reason. So now here you need to understand that React elementary and the virtual DOM is both are one and the same only. And also some people confused about the term shadow DOM also, even though it has nothing to do with the virtual DOM in React. So the shadow DOM is just a browser technology. So if you want to know more about the shadow DOM and all those things, so I have done the videos on this shadow DOM in the Angular animations courses. So there I have covered more about the shadow DOM concept and all those things. If you have doubts, if you want to know more about this one, you can refer to those videos. Let's say there is a state update in the profile component. So let's say here I have used a profile component. So here the state has been updated, in which it will trigger the re-render. So what will trigger the re-render? So profile, it will trigger the re-render. This means that React will call the function of the component profile. So the profile component function will be called and place the new React element. So in a new virtual DOM. So that is the main thing. Now the important part is that, so here the important part you need to understand is that whenever React renders a component, so whenever a React renders a component, that render will cause all of its child components to be rendered as well. No matter if the props also changed, that we pass it down have changed or not. So whenever the props are changed or state are changed, anything, if a component is re-rendered means, then all the child components which are having for that component will also be re-rendered. So if the updated component returns the component, those nested components will be re-rendered as well all the way down the component tree. So this is the important thing you need to understand. This means that if you update the highest component, all the components will be re-rendered all the way down the component tree. But this doesn't mean that the entire DOM is updated. It's just a virtual DOM that will be recreated. So here this is the important thing which you need to understand, that so whenever a component is updated, all the child components below that one will be re-rendered again. That means it will be re-executed, and these all the instances or the objects will be updated in the new virtual DOM, in the virtual DOM. Now that means that, so if the virtual DOM is updated, that don't think that the entire DOM is got updated. So the main physical DOM is got updated. Don't think like that. Only the virtual DOM has been created. So this new virtual DOM was created after the state update will get reconciled with the current so-called fiber tree. So this is the important concept which we will try to learn about this one. So when the virtual DOM is created after the state update, okay, after the state update only the virtual DOM will be created. So before this virtual DOM creation and all those things will get reconciled with the current so-called fiber tree. So that means reconciled means it's a checking something like that. I will discuss about the reconciliation process also. So it will be reconciled with the fiber tree. So we will be having another tree that is nothing but a fiber tree. So it will be reconciled with the fiber tree with the new virtual DOM as it exists before the state update. So this fiber tree exists before the state update only. This reconciliation is done in React reconciler, which is called fiber. Okay, we will learn about this fiber also. That's why we have a fiber tree. Then the results of this reconciliation process is gonna be an updated fiber tree. So when the reconciliation process and all the things is completed, we will get an updated fiber tree. So a tree that will eventually be used to write to the DOM. So this tree will be written to the DOM. So let's learn what reconciliation is and why do we need this one in it next video. So now you will be having a little bit doubts and all those things. What is this reconciliation? What is this happening? Up to virtual DOM you are able to understand clearly, right? So before, when a state is updated and all those things, so here the components and all the child components, everything got re-rendered. Okay, a new virtual DOM object will be created. Now this entire virtual DOM cannot go to the DOM and it will cannot update the paint on the screen. So here another object, another tree will be having, that is called as a fiber, and this fiber and this virtual DOM will be compiled using a reconciliation process. So we'll try to see about this reconciliation process, and it will generate a new one that is nothing but an updated fiber tree. So this fiber tree will be there, and this fiber tree will be ultimately written to the DOM. And again, when another state updated, so again a new virtual DOM will be created. This updated fiber tree and this one will be rechecked, and again it will create a new updated fiber tree. So like this the process will be going on. So hope you understood about this render phase, about the virtual DOM and all those things. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.